Most startup founders don't fail because they are lazy or because they are not smart. They fail because of these 5 brutal mistakes. And if your startup is still in the early phases, chances are you are making at least one of them. After working with over 50 startups and helping them scale, I've seen the same patterns over and over again. Some take off, most don't. And it's rarely because of a bad idea. It's because of 5 key mistakes that kill momentum before year 2. But before we dive in, there's something we need to clear up because most founders get it wrong and it might be holding you back too. So you have probably heard this before. Startups just need to solve a problem to become successful. But that's actually not true. If solving a problem was all it took, every useful product out there would be a hit. But here is the reality. There are a ton of useful products and a ton of products that technically solve a problem, but no one cares. The Segway solved the problem, Google Glass solved the problem, both flopped. Because the real question is not what problem am I solving? It is who am I serving and what do they actually want? So most startups don't fail because of bad ideas. They fail because they are chasing the wrong thing. So with that in mind, let's check out the 5 brutal mistakes you need to avoid at all costs. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I met this founder who had an amazing idea. He was building an app that let people rent out home gyms, just like Airbnb for fitness. Sounds pretty cool, right? The problem was that almost no one wanted to rent out their home gym, and even fewer people wanted to work out in someone else's basement. He spent 2 years on it, and it cost him $50,000 to develop it. So there was no market for it. And your startup is only as strong as your market. I mean, if no one is going to pay for your solution, it doesn't matter how innovative or cool your idea is. Your startup is going to fail. So here is what I learned after working over 10 years in the startup industry. We often think that competition is bad, but it's actually proof that something is working, that there is a market. So remember, instead of asking, how can I create something new? Ask yourself, where are people already spending their money and how can I offer something better? Think about Uber, for example. They didn't invent taxis. They just made the experience better. And this is the reason why so many innovative startups fail. They create something fancy and cool instead of something useful. And that's a losing game. So take a second and think about your idea. Is your idea just fancy and cool, or are you in a market where people are already spending their money? If it's the first one, you might need to pivot your idea. Now, even if you are in a market with demand, there's another mistake that can quickly kill your startup. Picture this. You launch your startup. You focus on getting customers and you say to yourself, I want to get users first and I'll figure out how to make money later. Months go by and you burn through your cash. You have users, but no revenue. And when you finally try to charge them, no one wants to pay. Ouch. Now you might be like, who does that? But trust me, this happens all the time. Now, here is a truth. If people aren't willing to pay for your product right after they have tried it, they probably never will. So one of the biggest mistakes I see is that founders are afraid to charge because they think they will scare customers away. But here is the hard truth. If charging scares people away, they were never potential customers in the first place. So the best way to validate your startup is to charge something, anything. It could even be $1 because it forces people to actually think about whether or not your offer is valuable. So if you are not charging yet, ask yourself why. If you are afraid to lose any free users, remember, free users don't pay your team, your rent or your office space. So start charging for what you offer. Quick question. Have you ever been to a restaurant with a menu like this? Sushi, pizza, burgers. What is your first thought? If they offer everything, it cannot be that great, right? And most of the time, you are right. But startups make the same mistake. They try to serve every possible user, so they launch with hundreds of different features. I once worked with a Fortune 500 company and we had this super cool web application where people could sell stuff through an online marketplace like ebooks or online courses. And in the beginning, we only focused on digital products. But very soon the management said, hey, why not just allow physical products as well, like written books? We expected a lot of new users. So it was a lot of work and a lot of overhead, and it took us months to build. Guess what happened? We didn't get more users. Instead, our old users left because they were confused that it might not be the best fit for them anymore. So we didn't make any progress, and very soon we changed our plans again. So remember this, the most successful startups start with one great offering, one clear customer in mind, one strong marketing channel. I've seen so many startups make this mistake. They launch with 5 features when they should focus on one. They try to sell in 5 different markets when they should try to dominate one. And then they wonder why they're struggling. So think about it. What is the one thing that is working for you right now? What feature are people using the most right now that makes you stand out? Double down on that. Now this mistake kills startups every day. A founder builds an amazing product and thinks people will magically find it. But it doesn't work like that. Even the best product will fail if no one knows about it. In my opinion, at least 50% of your startup success is based on your marketing. So you need a very clear plan for getting new customers. And this is why so many great products get unnoticed. The founders think the product will speak for itself, but it never does. You need marketing, you need to get eyeballs. And this is so important that I have created a 4-step framework that will help you do just that. Find the best marketing channels for your startup to get new customers without you having to waste your hard-earned money on expensive ads. I have helped over 50 startups and some of the world's billion-dollar companies build their marketing strategy using this exact framework. So it's tried and tested. It's super easy to use and it won't take you more than 3 hours to finish. So check out my marketing channel bundle. Just click the first link in the description below. The next mistake is becoming increasingly important in the age of AI. Many startups focus on short-term wins, ads, viral tricks, or the next best marketing hack. And sure, they can work for a while, but here is the problem. Everyone is doing this. More and more people are pushing content. It's getting faster and easier, especially as AI is taking over. So you need something that differentiates you from the competition. So the startups that last aren't just selling products, they are building trust with their audience. So the lesson is, don't just focus on quick hacks that the next best marketing guru tells you to use. Focus on building trust, focus on building a community. Create content, engage with your audience, and become the go-to expert in your field. I think especially in the age of AI, this will be the difference between people choosing you over your competition. So these are the 5 mistakes you must avoid to build a successful startup. And now you know how you can overcome them. Unfortunately, these lessons are useless if you don't have a clear strategy on how to grow your startup. So check out this video where I will show you how you can create a powerful growth strategy for your startup. But before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more pro tips and powerful frameworks on how to build a successful startup. I'll see you in the next episode real soon. Bye bye.